Thanks, Sam. With us and Bill O'Reilly in the Kelly File segment tonight. The Justice Department on the defensive over the Fast and Furious investigation, as you know. And you may remember federal agencies under the supervision of Attorney General Eric Holder sent thousands of guns down to Mexico to try to track where they were going. Well, the feds lost track of the guns, and a Border Patrol agent was killed because of the screw-up. Now Congress zeroing in on the Justice Department, and with us to update the situation, attorney and Fox's anchor Megyn Kelly. So what's Holder has to go back in front of Congress on Thursday, right,
yes.
of this week.
Yes, and in advance of that, he had to submit a bunch of documents to Congress that had been subpoenaed.
And what committee, again, is doing this?
It's the House Judicial Oversight Committee, headed by Darrell Issa. So he's going to go before that committee, and on last Friday, they did what's called a document dump of almost 2,000 documents related to this scandal. And it shows the back and forth from a lot of super high-level DOJ officials and U.S. attorney officials and ATF officials in Arizona, all in response to, not all, but a lot in response to Senator Charles Grassley, who had written a letter at the beginning of the year, 2011, saying, what's the deal with these whistleblower allegations that you are intentionally letting guns walk into Mexico and putting them in the hands of bad guys? And they were apoplectic. Everybody's saying, how are we going to respond? What are we going to say? Blah, blah, blah. They wind up writing a letter in response on February 4th of 11 saying, we never let guns walk. ATF doesn't do that. We interdict weapons. Bah, 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 bah.
And that was a lie.
Well, it was completely false. I don't know whether it was a lie.
Completely false and a lie. I think
they say they were misinformed. The top level, the people say we relied on bad information.
Yeah, they can say whatever they want to say. But the first letter that they wrote to Grassley wasn't true.
And now they've had to withdraw it.
Right.
Last Friday,
They pulled that letter back.
wrong, they said we have to withdraw it.
So it looks to me, and you correct me if I'm wrong, that they're in trouble. Now, they already got rid of the ATF chief, right? He's already out of there. Right?
No one has been fired.
Well, they removed him now, right?
Everyone is still collecting a federal paycheck.
They're still getting paid.
They've moved them to other parts of the DOJ or other federally taxpayer-funded positions, except for the one U.S. attorney who oversaw in Arizona. He resigned. No one's been fired. We still have not one person who's actually been held accountable for this.
Okay. Is there any smoking gun that shows Eric Holder, the attorney general? There isn't. So right now, Holder, who claims that he didn't really know much about it,
right?
He's still...
There's nothing to disprove that.
Okay.
But let me tell you what the documents do show. They tightened the focus on a very close Holder deputy named Lanny Brewer, who heads up the criminal division of the DOJ. This is no lackey. This guy is high up in DOJ. And he went before the U.S. Senate in November, a month ago, and testified that he could not remember whether he'd ever seen a draft of that critical letter, which now has been so wrong they had to withdraw it. I don't remember whether I ever saw a draft. And then he doubled down on that testimony in written form to the U.S. Senate. Well, these documents that just came out on Friday show that it was sent to him, and not only was it sent to him at least four times, he forwarded it from his DOJ email to his private Gmail.
Can I say he lied? Is that fair?
Well, you tell me, because when he's forwarding it to his private Gmail, he's praising his lieutenant, who was heavily involved in the drafting, who was complaining to him, this is worse than drafting the Magna Carta. He praised him for his good work, forwarded to the private email, and it was a a big deal within DOJ and all these other agencies.
So
and he doesn't remember. He doesn't remember ever seeing the draft.
So Brewer's going to take the fall then.
I don't know whether he's going to take the fall or not, but they have good reason to be pressing on this because the information from DOJ is coming out in drips and drabs and has been all along. This organization first told Grassley and everybody else never happened. Then they kept pushing. And then they kept saying this is a witch hunt.
Grassley's the hero here.
And well, Grassley and Issa are the ones who have been on this from the beginning.
Okay. All right. So Holder comes in on Thursday, and of course we'll see what happens there. Now, Blagojevich, we know he's a thug, right? He's a thug.
I think it's fair to say he is a thug.
And the reason we say
the jury has spoken on that.
Yeah, the reason we say that is because Blagojevich did what a lot of Illinois politicians do. Once he got elected, he looked for ways to make money for himself, to enrich himself.
What about me? What about me?
Either by putting money into his campaign or direct or this, that, and the other thing. So
people who wanted contracts with the state, who wanted appointments, he said, yeah, I'll give you a contract.
He wanted to sell Senator
Obama's
Senate seat. So when Obama left the Senate, that seat was open, and Blagojevich could make an appointment, and he wanted something for it.
I'm sitting in a gold mine. I'm not just going to give this thing away for free.
All right. So the first jury was hung and thrown out or whatever. It didn't
guilty on one charge.
And then the second one came back.
Guilty on like 18 counts.
Okay. So I say he's going to get 5 to 10. Is that what do you think?
I think it's probably going to be a little more. I think it's probably going to be 10 to 15.
10 to 15, which he has to serve what?
Virtually all, if not all of it.